Rule 1.6, we are going to talk a little bit more about that one. That's the confidentiality rule. A lawyer shall not reveal any information relating to the representation of a client unless the client gives informed consent, the disclosure is impliedly authorized in order to carry out the representation, or the disclosure is permitted by the other paragraphs of this rule. I often tell the story about being at a networking event. Now, please understand, I network solely with attorneys because that's my clientele. So I always network at bar events and bar association events across the country. I was at a networking event with an attorney and we were chatting, and from behind us we started hearing a group of young lawyers talking. And what they started doing was they were trashing a client that they were working with, actually the adversary of the client who they were working with. I couldn't understand at first why my companion who I was chatting with was getting redder and redder and redder. And finally I asked him, is there a problem? And he said, yeah, that happens to be my client that they're trashing. This is clearly a violation of the confidentiality of information rule. Anytime you're in a situation where more than one person is going to hear you speak, you have the potential for violating a confidentiality rule. Honestly, I know this is a bit to the extreme, but the fact is that I have overheard conversations on trains using cell phones. I have overheard conversations in places like diners and in restaurants. You should really be careful about when you're talking with somebody and networking that you do not violate your client's confidentiality. It's a little bit, like I said, to the extreme, but this is certainly something you must be aware of.